In this video, we're going to learn how to design this beautiful minimalist logo design over here. So at the end of this video, you should be able to remove backgrounds from image. You should be able to use shapes in editing logos. You should be able to add text. You should be able to change fonts of designs, and you should be able to add backgrounds to image. So those are the things you should be able to do at the end of this particular tutorial. So let's jump right into PixelLab. So we're going to change this to a default design. So I've cleaned it. So when you come into PixelLab, this is your dashboard that you see right here. So the first thing we want to be doing, we want to be importing our image over here. So we should remove this text to tap this text. Just delete the text over here. Right. So let's import our image by clicking the plus icon. We're going to import the image we want to use. You can use any image of your choice. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be using the image of that vintage car. So go over to photos. So you go over to where your image is located. Mine is located in my Go Photos library. So I'll go back to my pictures. So I have this nice image here of the car. So one thing you should observe here, my image does not have a transparent background, right? That's a black background. I don't want that. I want to change this background to a transparent background. Before I do that, one most very important thing that I should do, the sizing of this default tab, it's not going to be okay for our logo. Right, we don't need this for our logo designing. This our whiteboard here is too big, right? So let's change the sizing of the image, not the image of the car, the image of the background. So we want to use 1280 by 720, right? Or you can just go over to YouTube thumbnail in your preset here and choose YouTube thumbnail, right? So 1280 by 720 is a default image, so you can see the image looks more nice now. So let's continue. Let's remove the background from this image. So to remove the background, we'll go over to our image tab over here. And we have erase color. We enable this. So we'll choose the picker and we'll choose the color one to eliminate. So we have black over there. So we'll choose black, the black background. Then we'll click the good. Nice. That's been eliminated. Then we can increase the tolerance if we want to. Leave tolerance at 20. That's nice. So we have our image nice and good over here. So one more thing that we want to be able to do, we want to rotate our vintage car image. So go over to rotate. So we should be able to rotate it. Okay. Can rotate it by minus 15 degrees. 15 degrees. Okay. So the next one we'll be doing, we want to add our shape. Now for you to add a shape, when you're editing our vintage car, here changes, right? So to add your shape, you have to click the background. So here we also change. Then we have the option to choose some shapes here. So here's our shape. Want to increase the radius. Here's our shape, nice and good over there. You can choose from any shape that you want to use, but I want to use a shape like this. Okay, so you extend the shape a little bit, that will increase the radius. So hope you're following. So right now I'm trying to decrease this. Okay, click good over here. Can also decrease this as tiny as possible if you want to. So go over to our edit option also. Let's reduce the sizing. Okay. We can reduce this as tiny as possible. So we'll have, so let's start reducing that. That's okay. So we want to move this upward. So tap this position. So we have this nice design over there. Just move it up. Okay. So the next thing we want to be doing here is us adding our text. So go over to the text section over here. Hit text and click edit. So we can add any text of your choice depending on your client brand's name of your client's company. So I'll just go with Speedy Services for this tutorial. So what we want to do, we want to also rotate the Speedy Services. So we also rotated, remember we rotated the car, I also rotated the shape. If you go over to rotate, you see the shape is rotated by -14 degrees. So now we also want to rotate the Speedy Services. Before we do that, let's change the font. Go over to font and you can choose from any font of your choice. So the next thing we want to do, we want to rotate this. Okay, 15 degree. Nicely over there. So you can draw this up manually, or we can just use the position to increase this, to move it. Okay, so you can see the S over here is not fully out. That's because of the padding. So let's increase the padding of the text. So we have increased the padding and position this over here. So what I'm trying to do is to make it as close as possible to the shape. Okay, can still adjust that. Let's keep moving it backward a bit. Okay, nice and good over there. So the next one I'll be doing here is we want to be merging both of them. So to merge, we go over to this overlay section. Now remember the step, we'll go over here, click this tool over here, and we'll select what we want to merge. Then we'll hit the merge icon. Okay, now I've merged them, both of them are now one. So we want to be able to add a texture to this now. We want to add texture. We'll go to texture. So let's choose a nice texture that will go with this. So adding texture basically means for you to be able to embed an image inside a text, or embed an image inside another image, or inside a shape, right? So now I want to embed an image inside a particular text. So you can choose from any image of your choice. So I'll just go with this image here. Okay, You have it nice and good here. So we're going to click maintain ratio. So we'll click maintain ratio, that is enabled. Okay, our scale is 100%, nice and good over there. That's very okay. So one more thing we want to also be doing is we want to merge all together right now. So we're going to merge everything together. For us to do that, we'll go over to the same section, we'll click this if you want to merge all of them together. Before you do that, you can also decide to emboss your design. So you can click your car over here and go over to image section, then click emboss, which can reduce the bevel to 4, increase the hardness. You can just basically play around with this, increase the intensity and the ambient lighting. You can basically play around with that, or if you don't want that, you can just enable that. But if you feel it's cool, you just play around with any of the stuff you want. You can make this a 3D shape, but if you recall, we are doing a minimalist design here, so we can't use any 3D images. So a minimalistic design is basically like a flat design, right? So I'm trying to achieve here. So now let's move ahead to merge them together. So click merge. Now we have merged them, they are now one, right? They are now one over here. They're now one. So we're almost done with our design. So one more thing we'll need to do, we can give this a stroke if we want to. Give it a stroke of any color. If we want to do that, we can give it a stroke, right? So that is it. So now we can also add a background. We'll go over to our background section and we'll choose background for our choices. So I'll go to my photos where my images are located and get a nice background. Now all the backgrounds and the images used in this tutorial were gotten from cleanpng.com. You can go over there and search different images of your choice. So I'm going to choose this background over here. Okay, nice. So you can see basically what happens here. The background goes very well with the image. So I want to position the image right now in the center. So I click the image relative position. Okay, position this in the center. Position in the center over here in the middle. So you click this to position this at the middle, then you click this position at the center. That's why I click both of them. So that is it. So as you can see, this design is very minimalistic, right? It's very flat. So a lot of companies these days likes and loves minimalist design, right? They prefer this design to other designs. So that is it for this tutorial, and don't forget to add your brand name when designing for a client, your label name, especially when you haven't been paid yet. So you can just go ahead and add your brand name. Okay, gonna add it over here. Move over to recent. So you can just reduce the sizing. So let's position this. We also want to give this a stroke. So this is it for this tutorial. Now let's save this. Now click save as image. Now to save this, under the quality, the dimensions, you will move it from custom and choose ultra. Remember, you choose ultra. It's going to take some time to save, but ultra quality is the best because you're going to render your design very well, and you're going to make sure it's in blur right when it's being printed out. So that is it for this tutorial. So our design has been saved, so you now can go over to your gallery app, your image app, and check out your design.